Hello everyone and thanks for watching Edupedia World videos. I am Manish Agrawal and in today's session of mole concept we'll continue with the topic of limiting reagent and go into the specifics of its calculation. Alright, so let's first see what we studied in the last session. Okay, in the last session we saw how limiting reagent was important. Okay, it was important because it determined actually how much amount of reactant will be consumed and how much amount of product is actually formed, right? For example, we saw that if I have 2 moles of nitrogen, okay, and 5 moles of hydrogen, then hydrogen will be my limiting reagent because the ratio 5/3 is less than 2/1. So this implies hydrogen is my limiting reagent. Okay. So now you see, once we have determined that hydrogen is the limiting reagent, it becomes the linchpin. That is, all the calculations that we are going to make now are going to be based on the quantities of hydrogen. Okay. The quantity of nitrogen now becomes irrelevant. Okay. It is no more relevant how much nitrogen I had. Okay, we only need to concern about hydrogen. So basically we can say that I do not care about how much nitrogen is present with me. Okay, let's say I just have N2 equals to N1. Alright, and how much hydrogen? Now this becomes the crucial part. So amount of hydrogen is important to us. Alright, let's say N2 equals to 5 and amount of ammonia N3 is unknown again. Okay, so now you see, this question can basically be seen as, if I have 5 moles of hydrogen with me in the container, okay, if I have only 5 moles of hydrogen with me in the container, then how much nitrogen will react to form ammonia and how much ammonia will be formed in the process. Alright, once again, if I have 5 moles of hydrogen in the container, then how much nitrogen is required for complete consumption, okay, and how much ammonia will be formed after complete consumption of both the reactants. Okay, so we do not need to worry about how many moles of nitrogen I actually had, okay, because they were in excess. Okay, so this is not relevant now. We only care about hydrogen. Okay, so now this problems becomes simply the problem of stoichiometric analysis. Alright, so we can use the stoichiometric law, that is N1 divided by stoichiometric coefficient of nitrogen 1 should be equal to 5, that is moles of hydrogen, divided by stoichiometric coefficient of hydrogen 3 should be equal to moles of ammonia divided by stoichiometric coefficient of ammonia, which is 2. Alright, so this is what our problem now becomes. N1 by 1 is equal to 5 by 3 is equal to N3 by 2. So from here I can calculate how much nitrogen is going to be consumed. Alright, N1 is equal to 5 by 3. Okay, and from here I can calculate how much ammonia is going to be formed. N3 is equal to 2 multiplied with 5 by 3, that is 10 by 3 moles. Alright, so basically we forgot about nitrogen. Okay, we forgot that we had 2 moles of nitrogen because it is in excess, so we do not care about that. Alright, so we only focus upon the limiting reagent and make our calculations from there. Alright, so basically if you remember the formula, this stoichiometry law, if you remember it accurately, you will see that I had written here moles of A reacted and moles of B reacted, right? That is the moles of reactants which are actually taking part in the reaction. So you see why I ignored the 2 moles, because 2 moles of nitrogen didn't actually take part in the reaction. From the last session we can recall that the moles of nitrogen actually taking part in the reaction was less than 2. So let's say that moles is N1. Okay, let's say that value is N1. So to calculate N1, now we can use this law. because N1 is the quantity which is actually taking part in the reaction. So N1 is the quantity of nitrogen which is going to be consumed in the reaction. So I can take my question to be this N1, 5 and N3, and then calculate the values of N1 and N3. So based on the value of limiting reagent, I have calculated the amount of nitrogen actually consumed and the amount of ammonia actually formed. Alright, if you try and calculate the amount of ammonia formed using initial moles of nitrogen, that is 2, the answer you will get is wrong. Okay, the answer which you will get in that case will be wrong. Okay, so you always have to calculate the amount of product from the amount of limiting reagent, not the amount of excess reagent. Okay, another quantity that you can calculate here is the amount of nitrogen left in the container. Okay, we know that after final reaction, that is after the reaction is complete, the experiment is over, we know that hydrogen left over will be 0. This 5 will turn to 0, and this N3 which was 0 initially will turn to 10 by 3. Okay, 0 to 10 by 3, and nitrogen which was initially 2. So the question is, initially nitrogen was 2 moles, so how much nitrogen will finally remain? Well, it's pretty simple, you just have to subtract. Okay, you know that initial quantity minus quantity reacted. Okay, initial moles minus moles reacted. Okay, NR is reacted moles, that is moles of nitrogen which actually took part in the reaction, is equal to moles of nitrogen left. Okay, it's simple basic logic that moles of nitrogen left in the container finally will be equal to initial moles minus moles consumed. So initial moles were 2 and moles which took part in the reaction were 5 by 3. Okay, that is N1. So N2 minus 5 by 3 is 1 by 3. So NL is equal to 1 by 3, that is moles of nitrogen still left in the container after the completion of experiment is 1 by 3 mole. Okay, and plus we will also have 10 by 3 mole of ammonia in our container. Okay, so this is the calculation part of limiting reagent. Let's see another example and then we can wrap this up. Okay, say you have ethane C2H6 and we are trying to burn this ethane. Okay, so combustion of ethane will release CO2 and H2. Okay, we already know this. In fact, we already know that combustion of any hydrocarbon, that is complete combustion of any hydrocarbon, will give carbon dioxide and water as the products. Alright, so the question is, if I have 2 moles of C2H6, alright, the question is, if I have 2 moles of C2H6 and 4 moles of O2, then first part, estimate the limiting reagent. Okay, estimate the limiting reagent. Second part, calculate the leftover quantity of excess reagent, and third part, calculate the amount of products formed. Okay, so 3 parts what we just saw. Okay, we have to calculate the same 3 parts: estimating the limiting reagent, okay, calculating the amount of product formed, and calculating the leftover amount of excess reagent. Okay, so to estimate the limiting reagent, first we need to balance the reaction. Okay, always remember, first part should always be, for any question, first part should be to balance the chemical reaction. Okay, so you have C2H6 plus O2 gives CO2 plus H2O. We already know the balancing part. Okay, I have 2 carbons on the left, so I need 2 carbons on the right. So here I will introduce a 2. Similarly, 6 hydrogen on the left, so I need 6 on the right, so 3. So this means here I will need to introduce 7 by 2 as the stoichiometric coefficient of oxygen. Alright, 7 by 2 will be the stoichiometric coefficient of oxygen. Okay, in fact, since this combustion of hydrocarbon is going to be quite a common reaction throughout our physical chemistry in both class 11th and 12th, let me show you a general balanced equation of combustion of hydrocarbon. Let's say the hydrocarbon is CXHY. Okay, where X and Y will vary depending on the hydrocarbon which you are trying to burn. Okay, in this case, in case of ethane, X is 2 and Y is 6. Alright, so if you have in general any hydrocarbon CXHY, then upon combustion okay, upon combustion, we know that it is going to form CO2. Okay, so we always assume complete combustion unless otherwise mentioned in the question, and H2. Okay, these are the two quantities it is going to form. So if you want to balance this, we know that there are X atoms of carbon here, so stoichiometric coefficient here will be X. Alright, and here Y atoms of hydrogen are present, so stoichiometric coefficient of hydrogen here should be Y by 2. Alright, because Y by 2 multiplied with 2 will give me Y. Okay, so now I have X into 2, 2x plus Y into Y by 2 into 1, that is 2x plus Y by 2 atoms of oxygen on the right. So I need that many 2x plus Y by 2 atoms of oxygen on the left. So X plus Y by 4. Okay, X plus Y by 4 multiplied with 2 will give me 2x plus Y by 4 into 2 is Y by 2. So that is same number of atoms as on the right hand side. So this can be remembered as a general combustion reaction, balanced combustion reaction of hydrocarbon, sorry. Okay, so if you have problem with balancing, you can simply remember this equation where X and Y will vary depending on your hydrocarbon in the question. Alright, so let's get back to our limiting reagent analysis. So the question is, if I have 2 moles of ethane and 4 moles of oxygen, then I have to calculate the quantities of reactants left and products formed. Okay, so first we have to determine the limiting reagent for that. So given moles are 2 and 4. Okay, I already have the given moles. Second step was, now after I know that I have the given moles, what I have to do is, the step is to balance the reaction, and I have already balanced the reaction now. 7 by 2, 2, 3 are the stoichiometric coefficient after balancing. Alright, so after that, next step becomes to calculate the ratio of given moles divided by stoichiometric coefficient. Stoichiometric coefficient of ethane is 1 and that of oxygen is 4 divided by that of oxygen is 7 by 2. Alright, so I have calculated the ratio is 2 for ethane and 4 by 7 by 2, that is 8 by 7 for oxygen. Okay, so these are the ratios. So last step is to see for which substance the ratio is lower. So 2 and 8 by 7 is 1 point something, so this means 2 is greater than 8 by 7, that is the ratio is lower for oxygen. This implies oxygen is going to be our limiting reagent. Right, this implies oxygen is going to be our limiting reagent. Right, so once we have determined that, what we do, we forget about the reagent in excess. Alright, oxygen is the limiting reagent, this implies ethane is excess reagent, so we forget about the reagent present in excess. Alright, and we just focus upon the limiting reagent. Okay, so now my question becomes, I have 4 moles of oxygen. Okay, then what is the amount of ethane which can completely burn in presence of 4 moles of oxygen, and what is the amount of CO2 which will be formed, and the amount of water which will be formed. Right, so it's a simple stoichiometric problem. So what do? I use the law, N1 divided by stoichiometric coefficient 1 is equal to 4 divided by stoichiometric coefficient of oxygen 7 by 2 is equal to N3 divided by stoichiometric coefficient of CO2 2 is equal to N4 divided by stoichiometric coefficient of water, which is 3. Alright, so our problem becomes quite simple. Okay, I have calculated the limiting reagent, I have identified it to be oxygen. So now I make the calculations assuming that I know the quantity of oxygen, but the quantities of rest of the reagents are unknown. Right, so 4 divided by 7 by 2 is equal to N1 by 1 is equal to N3 by 2 and N4 by 3. Alright, so let's make the calculations. So basically N1 is equal to 8 by 7 is equal to N3 by 2 is equal to N4 by 3. Right? So it's quite easy now. This means N1 is equal to 8 by 7 moles. Okay, from here I can determine that N3 is equal to 2 into 8 by 7, that is 16 by 7. Alright, and for N4 by 3 is equal to 8 by 7. So this implies N4 is equal to 24 by 7 moles. Okay, so this answers my product side part of the question. Okay, these are moles of CO2 formed. Moles of CO2 formed in the reaction finally. Okay, and moles of water, that is moles of H2O liberated, is moles of H2O released if it is in gaseous form, and if it is in liquid form, moles of water formed will be 24 by 7. Okay, so we have solved the next part of question. Now for the last part, I simply need to calculate the amount of leftover excess reagent. I have identified excess reagent to be C2H6. Okay, C2H6 is my excess reagent. So simple logic dictates that moles of leftover reagent is equal to initial moles of reagent minus moles reacted. Okay, and initial moles of ethane with me were 2. Alright, and moles reacted was N1. Moles reacted of excess reagent was N1. Okay, that is the moles which actually took part in the reaction, that is 8 by 7. So this gives answer as 6 by 7 moles. So these are the leftover moles of ethane, that is the unreacted ethane. Okay, this is the unreacted ethane. Okay, or you can say this is the quantity of ethane which did not take part in our reaction. Okay, so these are all the calculations that you need to know for now about regarding the limiting reagent. Alright, in our next session we'll study a new topic, okay, a completely new topic, and of the mole concept obviously. Okay, basically we'll study solutions and concentrations. Alright, so until then, goodbye, and once again thanks for watching Edupedia World videos.